Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my Flosstube number, I looked it up, don't remember, 56 I think. Uh, my name is Eve, this is Everyday Artist, and that's Rogue, who will probably bark at some point because she's fascinated by the outside. Yeah. So on this channel I talk mostly about cross stitch, but also about sewing and quilting and other things like that. And didn't do as much cross stitch this week as I normally do because I can't see. I can see, but the kind of sight you need for there's nothing outside. I don't know what she's barking at. Stop it. So the kind of sight that you need for the close-up work, I would just see blurry stuff, and it was not good. So I did a lot more sewing. But I did do some cross stitch, so we'll talk about that. The first thing I want to say is that this past weekend was my nephew Eli is moving. He's moving into his own place in downtown Phoenix, and a beautiful place. He's on the third floor. Fortunately, there's a very nice elevator, but they bought most of his furniture from IKEA, and that means putting together a lot of furniture. And then they, all of his, sheets and towels and clothes and stuff like that needed to be put away. So my sister and my dad went Saturday to help out with that. And the freeway is closed. Well, it was for the weekend. They open it during the week, and they're doing needed remodeling of how the freeway works. And so I knew about the freeway closure because my sister had called and asked me, but she asked me for if we could bring some food, and I completely forgot that 7th Street would be a nightmare because of the closure at 7th Street, even though I wasn't on the freeway, and I ended up getting trapped in it. It was a nightmare. People get so impatient, and I realize that you may be in a hurry and you may have things to do, but the best thing to do when you're trapped in traffic is to be patient. You actually get through it faster if you're patient and don't block intersections. But when you want to try to get through on that light, you block the intersection and you end up with gridlock, and it takes longer for everybody to go anywhere. And I ended up being one of those people that was trapped in the intersection. I didn't mean to be. If I had realized that I wasn't going to be able to go, I would never have crossed into the intersection. So I was in the intersection and couldn't go because the light ahead of our light was still green, but the light ahead of our light was red, and so we couldn't go because other people were being knuckleheads ahead. And I found that out the hard way when I finally got through the intersection. And people were like weaving in and out to turn through stopped traffic. And so when our light changed green, we couldn't go then either because cars who did not have the light were still trying to go through. It's like, okay, I know that you've been trapped in traffic forever, but this is not how you operate. And then we were very tired. So Saturday night, I said, I'm not going to make dinner. I'm just going to go, pick up something. I went to Panda Express. It was before they closed, but they had no food. They said you can only buy what we have out. They had like one little shrimp and a little wad of rice. I'm like, okay, that's not enough food to, for one meal, let alone three. So I said, no, never mind. And I went ahead to, I said, oh, Wendy's is down the street. I'll go to Wendy's. Yeah. It was fine when I ordered. And as I got to the window to pay, nothing was ready. So I paid for my meal. And I used to work at a fast food restaurant, so I notice things. I just do. And one of my pet peeves is them taking the cup and scooping it instead of using an ice scoop. Well, because she was doing that, now these are plastic cups, so the wax isn't going to break off into the ice, so I'm not as nutty about that. But because she was scooping instead of using an ice scoop, apparently often she would overfill the ice. And on ours, she overfilled one of the ice on one of the cups. And that means that the automatic ice filler overflows the cup. So I saw her do that, and but I got distracted, and I looked away to the person who had taken my money, and I thought maybe they're giving me my food. And then I heard banging, and I looked over, and the girl at the drink station had, it looked like it was folded in quarters, a filthy cloth, stained with either soda or coffee or tea, I don't know what. It was brown. And she was banging it on the edge of the ice bin. And then she picked it up to look at it some more. That's how I knew it was filthy. And it had ice stuck all over it. So I guess she had used it to clean the outside of the cup. And it got ice, because ice, when it overflowed, the ice comes out too. And there was ice all over the drink station, and the drink station was filthy. And there was ice stuck to the cloth. So she took her bare hands and pulled it off the cloth and dropped it into the ice bin. And then she took yet another cup, scooped that same dirty ice, filled it up with my dad's drink. So I asked the woman at the window if she could please let me to speak to the manager. I was aghast when she told me that the woman that was doing this was the manager. Then she tried to tell me, I didn't do that. I used an ice scoop. I'm like, well, no, you didn't, but that's not what I'm mad about. And then she tried saying that she hadn't done that. That she had, I just threw it beside the ice bin. I'm like, oh, honey. I said, that is a health code violation. And I am going to be contacting the health department and report this. Now, here it is Monday. Midday Monday. I haven't done it yet for a variety of reasons. But I have the phone number. I have every intention of calling the corporate office for this Wendy's and the health department, because I didn't have them remake my sister's and my drink. But afterward I thought, you know what? I should have just said, you know what? Give me my money back. I don't want any of this food. I'm going somewhere else. But I had them remake my father's drink with ice from another source. My sister and I both had stomach and bathroom issues starting early Sunday morning. And nobody else did. Nobody from my sister's family that we were with all day Saturday. My father didn't. My sister and I at the same time. I don't know. she might have been doing that all day for all I know. That cloth was filthy. And I can't say for sure that's what caused it. But, you know, my son says, "Oh, you're such a Karen. You complain all the time." I'm like, there's a reason why this is a health code violation, you know? Okay, enough about this. Because you didn't, this is a Flosstube. You didn't tune in for this information. But I'm so hot about it, I can't even stop thinking about it. I did stop thinking about it long enough to do quite a bit of cross stitch last night. My eyes were cooperating. Okay, first, I put the border on my quilt, and I laid it out here on this couch, and I took a picture, and I'll insert it here so you can see more kind of almost the whole thing. I'm really happy. Now I have to do, you know, I want to clean the floor, and then I'll lay it out and stick it together and all that. I went ahead, and this is half of the triangle one I want to do. Coming out correct this time, because, you know, it's amazing when you cut things right and sew them right, you know. Consistent sewing, consistent cutting. Yeah. And then I had shown that I had stacks of these. I went ahead and did the pinwheels on the one I had. I haven't cut out the rest of it. I mean, trimmed them. You know, I haven't trimmed all the rest of them. But I did the pinwheels on that one. This one, it's not a block yet. It looks like a block, but this is a disappearing pinwheel block, so, well, it's a disappearing 9-patch, I guess. So, I'm going to cut it this way, rearrange it, sew it back together. It looks cool when it's done. This is called Frame Pinwheels by Missouri Star. And then these aren't in the Etsy shop yet. Because my eyes still weren't cooperating. On Saturday during our video making, I made these 2 Christmas scissor fobs. They're not on the Etsy site yet. I have a couple of things I need to put up there today. Oop, get off my sewing. Get off my sewing. You can sit on this blanket later in your life, but not right now. It's okay, baby. I'm sorry. It's okay. Come on, you can sit over here. You don't want to? No? Okay, sorry. And then these, I did finish the cat over pumpkins with the matching notions pouch. This is on the Etsy site. And the pumpkins over cats with the matching notions pouch. Now, these have, I don't know if you can see it. Probably not, too blurry. Little pumpkin charms. And these have kitty cat charms. So those are available on our Etsy site, Three Sisters Creative. We are still running a sale till the end of the month. 15% off at 35 or more. This would qualify and would also get you free shipping. So, and now to cross stitch. I guess I don't have very long video. I don't have a very long video. I never do. So this is Cross Stitching for Fun Art Deco Spring. I'm working to do this inner circle first. This is my showstopper cell, and I just work on it. I try to get it once a week or so. But the first time I tried to work on it, my eyes were just not cooperating. And so I was just able to just do just a little bit because I counted and counted, and I'm still not sure I have it in the right spot. But fortunately, these kind of float away from each other, so if it's not exactly correct, it's not going to be a tragedy. And when in Pattern Keeper, it doesn't show me backstitching, and which is very annoying. So I'm sure there's backstitching on this flower because there's backstitching on everything. I didn't even look and see if there was backstitching on this. But I have the yellow center. Now there was backstitching on the other two flowers, so you can't really see the backstitching on this top one. So if there's backstitching, I have that too. And next I'm going to do another bee. And then I have one more. So there's another bee and one more of these flowers. And then these two little flowers like this one. And then I'll call this circle done even though I have this little flower here. I'll do that one as I'm doing this outside circle. And of course, I might have to do a whole bunch of backstitching at once. On the bees, it bothers me if it's not done right away. But I might go ahead and look at it and make sure that I kind of like to do, since they're separated from each other, to just get the backstitching out of the way so I don't have to. What do I have? Oh, it's from the quilt top. Sorry. Whatever. Okay, so then, as you recall, I couldn't remember when I started it, but I must have started it before last video. I thought it was sooner than that. And I don't know why I thought this was Erica Michael, and then it was, well, the S meant the studio. I even said something about it with my sister in our last video. No, it's Erica Michaels. And I read it again. I went, what was I thinking? You know? So, Erica Michaels. Holly Jolly Christmas. And I'm doing this berry. I got all the green done, and I'm starting on the dark red. Now, so there's a dark red and a light red. There's a dark red and a light red. And then this gold color right here is a DMC color. The others are Classic Colorworks. And I don't know if I'm going to use the same color that they want. I happen to have a gold satin, which I think might look kind of cool because it's only used for the metal on the ornaments. And I've decided that I'll probably call and get these peppermint buttons. Order the peppermint buttons because I like them. I don't know about this candy cane, but the peppermint buttons inside the O's I think is kind of cute. They don't have them anywhere else, just on the berries. And on this thing it has this little leaf. But it gives the number. It's from Just Another Button Company. I'm afraid to go on Just Another Button Company and order these, not because of the cost. I'm afraid I'll see a million things I want, and that's just the way I am, and I really can't afford that. So, and I worked some more on this I always forget to say what the fabric is on my videos. On on Cross Stitching for Fun, that is 28 count even weave that I dyed myself. On this is 18 count Ada in vintage. It's supposed to be on 36 count. On 36 count linen, I think, and I no. So that was all I could do. This, I'm doing it on 14 count Ada that I've dyed myself. This one. This is by Twin Peak Primitives. And you remember I said that I wanted to do the border as I do the pattern? Well, I made that decision after going all the way across here and having to count all of those, right? And I said, no, I'm just going to go ahead and do it as I go. So the border goes, you know, behind the witch and all that other stuff, but nothing's really touching anything. You know, she's next to the border right here. The cat's sitting on the ground, the tree's sitting on. So as I did the moon, you know, right away from this border, and then I counted the owl, that's part of the witch's hat, and the branch he's sitting on. And then I said, well, I think it would be easier to start at this branch and go this way, you know, and get this part of the border done, and then go down like this and get the rest of this tree, right? I realized I had done the border incorrectly. And you can see right there. You see how there should be another hole right here. So it's one stitch too long. But I would have had to take out all of this, and it doesn't really matter because the tree is not touching anything. I just added in another stitch somewhere, I don't remember where. And so when I come down here, I'll just have to add in another stitch to get it to meet. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to go and undo that because this little thing right here where it's wrong comes under the heading of so yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. So then I don't know if I'm going to get this finished by Halloween. Because obviously I worked a lot on Holly Jolly Christmas. I really like this. I like the way it's turning out, this black on this fabric, and I have 2 more of this fabric for the other 2 patterns. I may work on these throughout the year, I may not. You know, I keep buying patterns. I don't know. I just don't know. So that comes to my final whip. Until a Good Night by Stitching with the Housewives. Priscilla's really outdone herself with the patterns for this Christmas. She just came out with another beautiful one. I love the Thanksgiving patterns. I bought Silent Night because to me it kind of goes with this. It looks like it would, you know, do you remember when Christmas villages used to be really popular and people would put out you'd have to go by the individual houses and people would put out this whole little village. That's what this reminds me of. And there used to be, I don't know if it still exists. There was a company in Wisconsin, and they would produce gypsum pieces, and you would paint them. They would come in kits or not in kits. And what was it called? Fantastic company. When I lived in Florida, I used to order for the hard crafts department, and they were wonderful, wonderful to talk with when I would call. Accents Unlimited. And the reason I finally remembered that is because when you would call to place an order, the response when they picked up the phone was, "It's another happy day at Accents Unlimited." And I saw them once at a trade show. They were all wearing cheesehead hats and handed out cheese nips at their booth. And I bought quite a few of their kits. They had these music box Santa kits that were different era looking Santas, I think. I don't think I have any of them anymore, which is really sad because they were beautiful. I only bought like 2, maybe 3 of them. But I also bought a Gingerbread House, and that Gingerbread House had a lighting thing to go underneath it, and we used it for many years. I think I still have it somewhere, but I've lost the light that would go in it because it was separate. It wasn't connected. You would just lay it underneath and stick the gingerbread on top, and for many years I wasn't there. It was at my parents' house, so I wasn't necessarily the one that put it away. Anyway, the box that came in, one of the things on the box, it said, "Looks delicious." No. Looks good enough to eat. And then underneath that it said, "But tastes awful." Anyway, this reminds me of all those Christmas villages and the Silent Night one that she did right after that. And so I think that's why I liked it so much. I wish I was faster at working on it. I see people that have already done that one and all the Dapper Doodads and all of the other. I'm like, my goodness, do you cross stitch all day long? How do you get it done so fast? And of course, I do a lot of other things. So I finished this teal house. Yay! I'm going up with white up here toward whatever's back here, Santa Claus, I think. Because I want to go up here this way and drop back down. There's a white house. And in between, I'll probably, go ahead and put the green on that tree. And it's a different green than on this other tree. But I'm plugging away at it. So I knew I hadn't finished the reindeer. He needs antlers, and I'm going to put a little black dot for his eye. I realized that I think it's white stitch supposed to go there. And maybe it's yellow. I don't know. But I missed something there. I'm not one of those people. I'm not a color completist. I like to complete motifs, and so it kind of bothers me that the reindeer isn't finished. But if I finish this reindeer, I'm like, I'm gonna want to make this reindeer, and I just didn't want to take out a new color for that. If it had been the same color as this, I would have gone ahead and done that. But I'm liking the way it comes out. Hopefully I won't have as many issues with the second house. So perhaps before I go further on, probably not. I'll probably go ahead and do all the white over to the, you know, toward the White House. But I want to finish that reindeer and finish this tree, just to have this section looking a little more done. And then, you know, there's a house here and Santa Claus is right here. I'm going to do the lettering across the top probably all at once rather than piecemeal it. So, yeah. That is all of the cross stitch I have. I have 0 haul. I haven't ordered anything online. I haven't purchased anything in the store. Well, I did. But I'm not going to show you because it's boring. I bought a strip set holder. You know, it's like a storage case. And then I bought a bobbin holder. Yeah. But that's everything I have for today. I know this video is very short. Mine tend to be short. And I hope you guys have a fantastic Halloween. I will not record again until the day after Halloween, November 1st. Have a great weekend.